You don't need more motivation. You need a system that doesn't give a damn whether you feel like it or not. Motivation is like caffeine. You crash just as hard as you spike. What you need is grit, forged over time through repeated exposure to effort, discomfort, and challenge. But grit isn't some abstract mindset. It's a skill set. And like a muscle, it grows with resistance. So if you've ever found yourself saying, I just need to get motivated again, you're already losing. Because the pros, the real grinders, don't wait for motivation. They build systems, they run mental frameworks, and they coach themselves with the kind of clarity that doesn't require a hype video at 5 a.m. So today, I'm going to give you 5 mental models that forge grit like iron, science-backed, ruthlessly practical, and built for the long haul. The first model is the minimum viable suffering model. Now, you've been sold the idea that your workouts should be fun. Newsflash, they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to work. The minimum viable suffering model is about embedding just enough discomfort to force adaptation, but not so much that it buries you. This is how progressive overload works at a psychological level. In the gym, you add 5 pounds. In life, you add 5 minutes of discomfort. Not to break yourself, but to stretch your threshold. It's like inoculation. Controlled exposure will build immunity. You don't become mentally tough by reading books about toughness. You do it by deliberately walking into resistance over and over until your nervous system learns not to flinch. Think of it like this. Every rep of controlled discomfort is a vote for your future resilience. And just like lifting, consistency matters more than intensity. The idea here is to pick one daily task that makes you uncomfortable. Do it first. Cold showers, morning runs, logging your macros for the day. It's a signal to yourself, telling your brain now, I'm going to go towards the fire, not away from it today. The second model is the second brain rule. It's a default to systems and not feelings. You have 2 brains. One is the ancient, primal, reactive. It will seek comfort, pleasure, familiarity, Netflix. The other is slower, strategic, built for systems and logic. Grit comes from training that second brain to make decisions, because the first brain will always vote for the couch. It's not lazy, it's survival. But your goals live in the future, and the future is built in systems. Neuroscience will back this up too, because your prefrontal cortex, that beautiful front of the brain, it's made for self-control and long-term planning. But your amygdala, your animal brain, it's based on fear, reactivity, quitting when it gets hard. Because you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you're going to fall to the level of your systems. That's just not motivational fluff. It's called Hebbian plasticity. What fires together, wires together. So what you want to do is build a default systems. Decide your training days, your macros, your wake-up time in advance. The more decisions you make when you're tired, the more your primal brain will take the wheel. If you want to win, automate what matters ahead of time. The third model is the 40% rule is bullshit without this one, okay? Figure this one out. Because David Goggins made the 40% rule famous. When you think you're done, you're only at 40%. But here's the part most people miss. That last 60% is brute force. It's pattern recognition. It's trained awareness of what your body and brain are telling you and how to override it intelligently. You're not a machine. You're a biological organism with finite resources. If you ignore that, you break down. If you learn to work with it, you build capacity. Psychophysiology 101 here. Perceived exertion is not the same as actual failure. When your brain screams stop, what it's really saying is this is unfamiliar. That's not a red light. It's a yellow light. Proceed with awareness. So what you do with this model is you start logging your rate of perceived exertion, your RP, during training or even during life. Track that inner quitting voice, learn its patterns. Over time, you'll see that discomfort doesn't mean danger and effort doesn't mean emergency. Grit is not a blind effort, it's calibrated suffering. The fourth model is that no one is coming paradigm. There's a truth here, that hard truth that a lot of people avoid. No one is coming to save you. There's no perfect coach, no magical plan, no motivational guru, no Instagram post from a fitness influencer telling you what you should do. The longer you outsource your ownership, the weaker you stay. This is known in psychology as locus of control. The internal locus means you believe you have the power to influence your outcomes. An external locus, though, you're going to blame your schedule, your genetics, your stress on everything that happens. Guess which one leads to results? Self-coaching starts with brutal ownership, not because it's fair, but because it's necessary. So when the plan falls apart, no one shows up to fix it. You do. And that's going to what separates committed from curious. So the real world application on this one is that you need to start every week by auditing one failure. not to beat yourself up, but to extract the lesson from that failure. Ask, what did I control and what can I do differently next time? If you can answer that, you're not learning, you're looping. The final model here is that you are not here to become tougher. You're aiming to become anti-fragile. The final model is the anti-fragile framework, to grow from stress, not just survive it. Because toughness resists chaos. Anti-fragility feeds on it. This concept comes from Nassim Taleb, and it applies beautifully to training. You don't want a body or brain that breaks when the plan changes. You want a system that adapts to uncertainty and uses it as fuel. That means training across variables, switching modalities, running tired, lifting in the heat, exposing yourself to the unexpected on purpose. Because stress plus recovery will be adaptation. Not stress alone, not recovery alone, both in balance. So what you do here is that every few weeks, introduce one chaos variable, train at a different time, do a workout with minimal equipment, run without music, fast it in the rain, in the snow, get uncomfortable in new ways. Not to punish yourself, to prepare yourself. Life doesn't care about your plan and neither does it. In the end, you are the plan. Motivation is weak and systems are strong. And grit is not a personality trait, it's practice. These are 5 mental models. These are not abstract ideas, they're tools. Use them daily, stack them, refine them. You don't need a better program. You need a better relationship with discomfort. You will need clarity, consistency, control. You need to track it, own it, adapt it. Because nobody's coming. You are the plan, you are the coach, and you need to act like it.